Good evening and welcome to That's Football. I hope you're all doing really well. We're live for the first leg of the... first thing I'm going to say, I'm looking forward to this. Chelsea against Spurs is always an exciting game anyway, but the fact that it's Chelsea against Spurs in a cup game where both of them would be, probably looking to win this now because, let's be honest, it's looking very much like Manchester City are going to go and win the Premier League. But I don't know why they play two legs in the Carabao Cup. We don't get two legs in the FA Cup, so why do we get two legs in the Carabao Cup? I'm sure somebody out there knows. I don't really understand it. I don't know why, but I really don't see the point. Lukaku is starting for Chelsea. I'm just getting set up here. I've just come over from the United stand, which I'm sure many of you have come over from the United stand with me. We will be talking about the mess at Manchester United. I'm sure about that. We'll be talking about the Lukaku story. I mean, Chelsea and Manchester United having very weird weeks. Lukaku publicly undermining his manager, his fans and his club, but apologising. Manchester United players deciding to go through the coward route of doing it through the press, behind the manager's back, undermining him when he's only been there 5 minutes. But we'll talk about that as well. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right hand corner. You're all very, very welcome here. Conte back at Chelsea, yes. Look, the fact that it's over two legs I find a bit weird, as I say, but it is over two legs. Let me just get the timer started here and then we'll go through the team news. But 7:45 kickoff caught me off guard. I've been at a funeral today, actually. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I've been at a funeral today, so I've been very much driving up and down. And therefore, I did hear that the Arsenal-Liverpool game tomorrow was potentially going to get called off. But I don't know whether that is the case now. I don't know whether that is the case. I think it's still on. I know Liverpool have had a lot of COVID cases. But there's an early chance here. I'm going to give you the team news. And please share the video. Let me put the tweet out. Lots to talk about tonight. Hope you're all doing well anyway. FA Cup weekend. Yeah, it's a bit shit, isn't it, really? The FA Cup's a bit shit. I'm going to do Forest against Arsenal and just hope that Arsenal get knocked out. But let me go through the team news. So, Chelsea have got Kepa in goal, Azpilicueta, Sarr, Rudiger, Alonso, Saul Niguez and Jorginho, Ziyech, Havertz, Mount and Lukaku. So a few changes from the game at the weekend. Obviously, Chelsea will still think they can get in a title race. They're still in the Champions League as the holders. Obviously, the FA Cup this weekend, Carabao Cup. So they're basically fighting on four fronts, where Spurs are fighting for top four and domestic trophies. So Spurs probably able to go a little bit stronger. Lloris, Tanganga, Sanchez, Davies, Emerson, Højbjerg, Skip, Doherty, Lucas Moura, Kane and Son. So pretty strong Spurs lineup, really. Probably a little bit stronger. But the return of Lukaku is interesting, isn't it? Apparently it's off. Is it off tomorrow? Okay, thank you very much for letting me know. It is off tomorrow. So let me just confirm. Postponed 6 hours ago. Liverpool Carabao Cup has been postponed because of a severe outbreak of COVID. The first leg will now be at Anfield next week and the second Emirates on the 20th of January. So, yeah, I mean, that's fine, isn't it? That's fine. We're still going to get them, which is great. Lukaku is playing, yes. Do I think Lukaku should be playing? I suppose is the first question. Well, I'll put it to my chat. I value your opinions. Do you think Lukaku should be back into the team? Mark, where do you like United to finish if they do not qualify for the Champions League, says United Anshiv. I mean, I don't want United to not play in the Champions League, but if we don't finish fourth, I want to finish fifth. I don't want to not be in the Europa League. I think that I know I disrespect it, but I'd rather be in the Europa League than not in the Europa League. I'm sure. I mean, Arsenal and Spurs are probably saying no, we're happy not to be in it, but yeah. I agree with Lukaku playing tonight. By the way, he's apologised, which is. He had to do that. He's apologised, and I do believe in second chances. And I would hope that the conversation has gone along the lines of, if you perform, you're not going anywhere until the summer anyway. Get back in the team, perform, and we'll address it in the summer. Very similar to what happened with Pogba last year. Before the Leipzig game, Raiola came out with some horrific comments about Man United. And a lot of United fans were like, sell Pogba, this, that and the other. He had a conversation with Solskjaer and he actually did quite well. So I think similar situation. You're not going to sell him in January. ridiculous amount of money, ridiculous wages. He'll have shit himself. Quite rightly, Chelsea fans reacted really bad. He was arrogant in the interview, and I think he'll have realised he can't. I might be a professional footballer, I might think I'm one of the best players in the world, and I might be on brilliant money, but you are a customer of Chelsea, and the fans are your owners basically, and he had to back down. Slow Sports News says Butcher Bean. What would you do if Seb wants to be a Chelsea fan like his grandpa, says Harris. There's more chance he'll be a Villa fan because a lot of his mates who play football have Villa kits on. So there's more chance of that happening. But then again, there's more chance of Arsenal winning the league than Seb being anything other than a United fan. He might think he's not going to be a United fan. 1-0. 1-0 to Chelsea. Havertz. It's a goal. And Chelsea score, and I think Davinson Sanchez ends up putting it in the back of his own net. But it's a slide rule pass to get Havertz in. And I don't know whether the defender should save it, but it is 1-0 to Chelsea. Havertz, he's hurt his hand. I've hurt my hand. I've hurt my hand. He's not Irish. But 1-0 Chelsea. Let's watch this. It's a slide rule pass by Alonso. Tanganga gets himself into a mess. And to be fair to Davinson Sanchez, I don't think there's a lot he can do here. Havertz finishes it well. It sort of hits Sanchez's foot. He's not trying to clear it. It just hits his foot and goes into his own net. It won't be an OG because it was going in from Havertz anyway. But it's 1-0 to Chelsea. I will change the score. An early goal, always good. Always good to get an early goal. And Spurs 1-0 down. But this is not the Spurs of old. Not the Spurs of old. I predict this will be 3-2 to Chelsea. I think we're going to get lots of goals tonight. Havertz has hurt his wrist. Always concerning for a bloke when they injure their wrist. Now, look, if this was Spurs under Nuno, I'd say Chelsea could win this 3 or 4-0. Chelsea are a good side. I thought Chelsea were a bit unlucky not to win against Liverpool. Not that Liverpool didn't deserve the point, but I thought that Chelsea were very, very good in that game. They look to me like they might have turned a corner now. Thoughts on Coutinho to Villa, Mark? Looks all but done. Think it's a great for us personally, says Alex. I think, Alex, again, I've been out all day because I've been at a funeral. If Villa are getting Coutinho, I think that's a fantastic deal. Because if Arsenal get Coutinho or Man United get Coutinho, it's a risk. If Villa get Coutinho, it's actually like perfect for the player and it's perfect for Villa. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it does work out, you've got a fantastic player. And let's not forget, Gerrard knows Coutinho. So I think that's a really good deal if it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, I'm hearing about that live now. So I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I think Coutinho would be a good deal. Favourite food and height, Mark, says Lucas. Well, I don't actually have a favourite height. Favourite food? I had fish and chips tonight for the first time in ages. Don't normally have fish and chips. Is quite stodgy, but I did enjoy it. So I do like fish and chips, but I don't have any favourite food at the moment because I'm very full. Is Coutinho a loan or permanent? Says Tyler. I don't know. You know what? I don't know, there, Taylor. I don't know, but I do know it's 1-0 to Chelsea after 7 minutes, and great stuff. Great stuff it is, and. Make sure you subscribe. Really enjoying this. No watch along tomorrow night because Liverpool against Arsenal has been called off. I don't understand why the second leg of this is not happening until for 2 weeks. Is it? The yard is looking bigger, says AJ and his dad. He's had some manscaped. How long do you think it'll be till Newcastle get top 4? I actually think it'll be a while, Fraser. I think it will take them at least 3 years. Second leg is next week, apparently. Yeah, you know that film, 4 Weddings and a Funeral? I've done it the opposite way over the last year. It's going to be four funerals and a wedding. I went to a wedding in October, and in 2 weeks' time, it's going to be my 4th funeral in less than a year. Both grandparents, my wife's gran, and a family friend. They didn't get married. They're all dead. The wedding was someone from the wife's family, but I think it's just a sign of the times, isn't it? I'm getting a bit older, so people are getting older that I know. So, you know, it's the circle of life, or it's something like that. Let me just have a look at this. So football, scores and fixtures. Thursday, Liverpool-Arsenal next Thursday. Oh, Tottenham-Chelsea is next Wednesday at 7:45, second leg. There you go. Chambon. I don't understand why United haven't had any games rearranged in January, you know. Don't know. Thanks for all the nice messages in the chat. You know what? Actually, something quite profound here. I do like to do watch-alongs and bring real life into it. Good interception by Chelsea there. Mora was trying to slip Son in. I tell you what, don't write Spurs off. Very different. Very different side under Coutinho. They won't bottle this. If Chelsea win this, they'll have to play well. No, you know what? I'll tell you this. I thought about this. I always thought all my life, when I die, I want to get buried. And the last 2 funerals I've been to have been cremations. But the one today was a burial, and I watched it. Well, we all did. That's what happens when you go to a burial. I'm sure some of you've been to one. You go in the church, you have the service, then you come outside. They bring the coffin out and they put it in the hole in the ground. And I just didn't like it. Didn't like it. So I think I want to get cremated now. In fact, I am going to get cremated. I don't like it. When I was at the crematorium, you have the service, the curtains close, and that's it. But when you're at a burial, you have the service, then you have to go outside and watch them put it into the ground. And I just thought, yeah, it just didn't sit right with me. If you do like it, well done. Well, if you do like it, you're not going to be bloody watching it, are you? You'll be in the ground. But yeah, it's changed my opinion, which made me think it's a good thing about changing opinion, isn't it? You can change your opinion. You can change your opinion on how you want to be disposed of, and you can change your opinion on a player. And here we go, 2-0. Oh no, it's a great save. I think Havertz might have been offside, but Lloris makes the save. Let's have a watch along for your death, Mark. It'll be a bit crap because I won't be talking. People hate it when I don't talk, Jack. Was Havertz offside? Well, he couldn't have been offside because it was from a Spurs player, so that could have been 2-0. He was offside if it was a pass from a Chelsea player, but it was a Spurs clearance that fell to Havertz. Shot near the post, Lloris makes a save. Mark, those players need to be named so they can be exposed and shamed. They clearly don't care and will not stop leaking. Just collect more checks, says Rick James. And apparently cremations are cheaper as well, so it's a double win. Mark, thoughts on Arsenal-Liverpool game being called off, says Zohab. Well, Arsenal fans won't be very happy about it because you're playing well at the moment, and you would have been playing Liverpool without Klopp and without their keeper, etc. But you know what? It pissed me off when it happened with United. Even as a United fan, I wanted to know how many players had COVID, how many people were isolating because they're not vaccinated, and how many people were injured. So you could figure out, or a list of players that are available. Now, we never got told that. I personally think if you've got 14 players, you play the game. Now, I don't know. I presume Liverpool haven't got 14 players. So it's hard to react to it, Zohab, because we won't be told the information. But if they haven't got enough players, then they can't play the game. I agree with that. Chelsea are all over Spurs at the moment. Mark, I'm furious. Get the lot out of pathetic club. We are Ranić, a nice guy, is hounded out, and his days are numbered like Donny. Good guys are ruined, says Andrew C. Well, it's good to see angry fans around United at the moment because it's an absolute disgrace. You know, I said I was going to give these players a clean slate. They can piss off. They haven't got a clean slate. They're a bunch of absolute arseholes for turning on a manager after a month when they got the previous manager sacked themselves. Hi Mark, genuine question, serious answer only. If you had the opportunity to be Man United manager tomorrow but you had to be a puppet for the board, would you do it? No. Ash G, no I wouldn't. It's like asking me, would I do That's Football if somebody was telling me what I had to say and what I had to do? No, I wouldn't. I like it because I just interact and it's off the cuff and, you know, it's real. I mean, that was the question that Ollie had. You know, how much do you want this job? Will you take the job as a puppet? Yes, I will. Maybe Rangnick's done the same, but I wouldn't do it. I don't think many of you would either. Imagine people think you're dead, then you have a burial, then it turns out you're not dead and you wake up in a coffin, says Charlie Griffiths. Yeah, that used to happen hundreds of years ago, Charlie, but I think with modern technology, you're pretty safe. I mean, to be honest with you, these days, if you die in the UK, there's that much of a backlog. You can die in mid-December and you don't get buried. You don't get buried till mid-January. So, you know, you're going to be dead anyway because you're not having a drink or anything to eat for a month. Mark, you're on the Wolves TikTok page. Great. Mason Mount, good block, good shot. Spurs are in trouble here a little bit. Chelsea are dominating. But it's probably a good reason not to get buried because, to be honest with you, you're not waking up. I might be educating you here, but you're definitely not going to wake up from being cremated. Yeah, it's not going to happen. First, Leeds with Dallas. I was on the TikTok page with Leeds. I haven't seen the Wolves one. I don't know what it's all about. What do you think about fans hating on Ronaldo? Idiots, Khalid. Absolute idiots. How can you hate on a striker who's getting no service? How can you think that Ronaldo's the reason United are playing crap? Do you not realise we play McTominay and Fred in our midfield? Oh, if it wasn't for Ronaldo, they'd be like Kovacic and Kante. No, they're not. They're crap. They're absolutely crap. If Ronaldo was a holding midfielder, I'd blame him. But he's a striker who gets no service. And yet, idiots want to blame him. Leak the leakers, says FB. You know what? I actually don't know who all the leakers are. I know some of them, but I don't know all of them, and that's why I won't leak. That's why I won't put their names out there because it's not fair. If I know 2 or 3 of them and I put their name out, I know for a fact there's another 3 or 4, and I don't know who they are. So why should only 3 of them get the blame? I know who it's not. Ronaldo, it's not. De Gea, it's not. And McTominay, it's not. So, there you go. 3 that it isn't. Whatever you say about Scott McTominay, and I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United, he's not a leaker. He actually does get down and work hard. I don't think he's good enough, but he does get down and work hard. And he might have me blocked on Instagram, which I think he does. But you know what, Scott? It's always criticism because I don't think you're a good footballer. It's nothing personal. And, you know, if I was an arsehole, I could say, maybe it's McTominay. I know it's not McTominay. McTominay's not one of the leakers. I know people, and whatever you think about McTominay as a player, he's not a troublemaker. He gets his head down and he works hard. I just don't think he's good enough. Mark, have you got a 6-pack? Show us. I used to. I've only got 4 now because I've drunk 2. But that's actually from Beer Belly. Which is worse? Oh, I'm not. Look at this broad. He wants to talk about what's worse. And he's talking about people being set on fire. We're not talking about that. Let's face it, the leakers are the English lads, says Stuart Bates. Great shot there from Chelsea, just over the bar from Ziyech. Said Jamie sent me the TikTok. Let me have a quick look then. Forever young. I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever. Forever. Come on. Here we go. Well done, Phil Jones. Oh no. Coutinho. It's quite good, to be fair. It is quite good. They've done it well. They've bleeped it. I think swearing's always better. I'll read it out. Well, I could have just played it for you because it's my noise anyway. So I could actually go after them. I could go after Wolves for use. I tell you what, Wolves. If I took some of your bloody material, you'd bloody copyright strike me. But yeah, feel free to use mine. So this is it. It's on the Wolves TikTok page. I'd never do that, by the way. I'm not an arsehole, but this is it. It shows the goal. Well done, Phil Jones. Oh no, Martinho. I love it with the beep. Actually, I love that. Well done. I always think it's funny when you get bleeped. When you get bleeped, anyway. I mean, look, I actually don't like swearing. I hate it. It embarrasses me. But when I lose my temper, I do it. I can't help it. But I like it. I like the bleeping. It does sound like I've stubbed my toe. Let's look at your super chats. Mark, bit random, but on the Wolves watch-along after they scored, Seb came in and told about his game. You look angry, saying, don't want you to be a goalie, explains, as Andrew said. I just don't want any of my kids to be a goalkeeper. I just don't. I like them to play outside. Do you think Ronaldo will leave if United don't finish top 4? Yes, Henry, I do. And do you think Darren Fletcher is the leak? Maybe he wants the hot seat. My big melons, I don't know about that. I know Fletcher and Phelan shouldn't be there. You know it's not Matic too, says Vanillas. I don't know whether Matic is involved or not. On Ollie's last day, some staff members asked him why he didn't expose the players who had thrown him under the bus. Ollie shrugged his shoulders and smiled, says Steg. Well, he's a prat then, isn't he? It's class. Don't worry, you captured what we felt, says SK. Thank you very much for the super chats, by the way. Appreciate them. I'll read them out if you put any in. You can do that through the $sign. Spurs really struggling to make any headway here. Chelsea absolutely dominating Spurs so far. Oh, lots going on in the kitchen. Gordon Ramsay's in the house. Forever young, I wanna be forever. Jason says, are there less viewers of your videos after United loss versus a win? Just curious, I find it mentally draining to pay attention to anything football related after a loss for at least a day or two, says Jason. I think they're pretty steady. I think, you know, sometimes you will get an increase on a bad loss because you'll get a lot of rival fans tuning in to laugh. But in general, the match reactions and everything are pretty steady. The United stand's not really an outlet that's built around organic, viral overreactions. I know some channels do that, but you know, we have lots of other shows that we do, so it's not really about that. Although sometimes I do lose it. Nagata says, I'd love to see Donny at Arsenal. I think it'd be, you know, I'm not saying he'd start for Arsenal, but I think he'd get a lot more game time, and I think he'd suit you as well. Alan Kenny says, fans are going to turn against players with all these leaks. They must be thick if they think fans will turn on the manager now. Yeah, I agree with you, Alan. And the thing is, it's not just Man United. There's been a lot of leaks coming out of United over the last 24 hours. If you're not aware of it, basically the players are already turning on Ranić, saying they don't trust his style of play, which is disgusting. No matter what club you're at, no matter who you support, that is disgusting. These are players that have been shit for 3 years and got a manager sacked. A new manager's come in and they're saying we don't trust him. I mean, why should we listen to you, you bunch of crap bastards, really? But look at Lukaku as well. It's not just a Man United problem. You know, he does an interview, oh, I think I'm better than this, I want to go back, and he has to apologise. You know, players are idiots. They earn so much money, and they've got so many people in their inner circle bending over, licking their arse, that they think that they're above. They think they're better than they are. But in the real world, fans will turn against them because they don't like snakes. Mark, thoughts on Villa close to signing Coutinho as his HA game? We talked about it a few minutes ago. Very exciting deal for Villa if it happens. Anyone got Ollie's number? I want him to be my manager. The current one's a bit silly, says Proctor the Doctor. That'll be back tomorrow, by the way. Manchester United stand career mode. Right, here's Harry Kane. That's a lovely ball by Kane. It's a good takedown by Davies, but he gets caught very well. Good defensive work by Ziyech there, because that was dangerous for Spurs. But there you go. You love that from your wide player. You love that. Really good defensive work. And it was a lovely pass by Harry Kane as well. Right, here's Lucas Moura. Runs into trouble there. Jorginho. Chelsea putting the work in defensively here. Chelsea has one Lukaku. We have a squad of Lukakus, says Cold Dish. Thanks for the super chat, mate. I have heard the news about Djokovic. I don't really understand it. He's got some medical exemption to play in the Australian Open tennis tournament. But I don't understand what the furor is about. Is it because he's not been vaccinated? I don't know. Thoughts on Arsenal and Liverpool fans beefing about the Carabao Cup situation, says 58 Go. Look. Hello, says Liverpool are scared of Arsenal. I understand why Arsenal fans are annoyed. You look forward to this game anyway. I had it when United had games against Brentford and Brighton called off, and we would have had a weakened team against them, but I still wanted to play because I want to, you know, if my team's playing on a Wednesday, I look forward to it. So I understand from Arsenal fans' point of view being frustrated that they're not playing, but I also think there'll be some Liverpool fans that are frustrated that they're not playing. But if Liverpool haven't got enough players and the rules have been adhered to, then they're quite right to ask for the game to be cancelled. But we don't know. So therefore, conspiracy can reign, and Arsenal fans can say, well, Liverpool are bottling it. I bet they have got enough players. And we don't know whether they've got enough players, do we? So I can understand Arsenal's frustration. But in the absence of knowledge, here's Lukaku. He's got loads of Spurs players with him. Absolutely shit. Trampoline toes runs it out for a throw in. He's not done well there. The fact that the players are turning on Ranić shows that he's on the right track. Sometimes you've got to crack a few eggs to make an omelette, says Ash G. Hope so. Fellaini or McFred Mark, remember the people who said we was better off without Herrera, says YUFC. Yes, I do. I do remember people saying that. I'd prefer Fellaini to McTominay and Fred. Yeah. Mark, please leak the leaks who you are 100% certain about. It's not healthy with players having too much power. Save the club, says My Big Melons. Well, I don't want to do it because I don't know all of them. And you know who should be putting it out there? The people who get the information, but they won't do. You know, this is what annoys me about the mainstream media, is that they will be getting this information from players, but it will be off the record. I'll tell you this, but don't expose me. And they won't expose them because they've got. Look, if I'm doing United Stand right, and I get somebody slide into my Insta DMs and say, you know what you said on your show today, you're 100% right, that's going to happen, like it sometimes does happen, or you're miles off, I'm not going to go on the show and go, look, you know what I said this morning about that Ruben Neves deal not being a load of shit? It's definitely a load of shit because such and such in the United team told me it's a load of shit. I'm not going to do that, am I? Because I'm going to keep their confidence. But I do think it's a different story if a player gets in contact with me and says, Ranić's a load of shit and such and such, such and such and such and such says so. I'd say, well, I don't give a shit. I'm exposing you, you traitor. But I'm not getting that information. So the people who are getting this information are journalists, and you know they're quite happy to put the story out, but they're not happy to tell you who they're getting it from, which is frustrating because they know it. Ollie created a toxic culture at the club by keeping players who didn't want to be there and being objectively biased towards certain players, says Nathan Brown. And Mark, spot on about United. The players clearly watch United stand and must be ashamed by now. We'll smash Villa 4-0. Watch, keep up the great work, says Nick. Well, yeah, look, I know for a fact that there are certain United players that don't like the United stand, but I know for a fact that there are certain United players that do watch it. So, you know, they're going to watch the biggest United fan channel, aren't they? Because there's a lot of you watching it, and they want to know what you think because they've got social media accounts as well, and they want to know what it is that makes you happy. They might not like what's being heard at the moment, but it's a few home truths, isn't it? Is Lukaku getting booed, says HJW. Well, I haven't actually got my sound on, but I don't think he is. I think Chelsea fans are of the opinion that he's apologised. Let's give him another chance. Where's Harry Bain? If you know, you know. That's an OG one for you, says Rui Newman.
I'm Harry Bain. I'm playing up front for Spurs tonight, but I got getting any service. So I'm just standing on the halfway line with Rudiger and I said to Rudiger, where's your Batman mask? 'Cause I'm Harry Bain, and we could play Batman and Bane, 'cause I'm not getting any service tonight. I'm Harry Bain. Rudiger's Batman, but he's not got his mask on. I wish I could score a goal and show off, 'cause I'm Harry Bain.
Lukaku is not getting booed, says Low Fat. And Shaw, Maguire, Rashford, if it's not them, say no. Otherwise, blink twice, says Thomas. Mark, are we not a bit naive to think United can clean house and sign more than 5 players in the summer? We're totally naive, bro. These players are still going to be here and they're going to still be a problem. Hi, Mark. Which of the current United players would get in your starting 11 next season? Loving the content, says John. I think an easier way to answer that is what United players would get into this Spurs side for me, because that will indicate who. Well, look, the reality is De Gea. I'm not talking about Spurs now. What players would I keep at United from our first 11? In our first 11, De Gea, Varane, Luke Shaw, Bruno, Ronaldo, Sancho. 6. I would keep Greenwood and I would keep Rashford, but I just don't know where I'd put them at the moment. How is Niguez playing tonight, says Jones? I haven't really noticed him actually, so I don't think he's doing too bad. I haven't actually noticed Saul Niguez at all. I agree with Juan. I think it's going to take United 4 to 8 years to recover. Harry Bain to United, Mark, says Sean. And you are funny, hilarious person, Mark. Cheers, says Saham. Well, I used to do a Harry Kane impression, but then I didn't realise that he has actually got a bit of a speech impediment, so I stopped doing it because I don't want to take the piss out of somebody with a speech impediment. So now I just do Harry Bain, because Bane from Batman, and he's a super villain. I actually do like Harry Kane. He's not a super villain. He is a villain if he scores against you, I suppose.
Oh, Harry Bain!
Who you got winning the Carabao Cup? I tell you what, I mean, if anybody can answer this, I'd love the answer to it. This is probably one of the best Carabao Cups in a few years' time, because Man City aren't in it. You know, Pep loves winning the Carabao Cup, so them not being in it makes it good. Obviously, it's Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, or Spurs. I think they'd all love to win it. I do genuinely think they all want to win it because it's a trophy, and a trophy's obviously important. Side netting from Rudiger there. And it's a corner again. I don't understand. I think it'll be a Chelsea-Liverpool final, by the way. And I think it'll be well worth watching, that final. But I don't understand why they do 2 legs. I mean, I suppose somebody say, well, in the FA Cup semi-final, it's a neutral ground at Wembley, so that's why they do 2 legs. But in a football calendar that's already congested, I don't know why we do 2 legs in the Carabao Cup. You know, it's the worst tournament in domestic football, and yet it gets a 2-legged semi-final. Mark, who do you think United players will be booed from the start of the next home game for their off-pitch antics? No, Thomas, I don't think they will, because I don't think people know for sure who it is. Do you think a lot of your Newcastle players signing the West window will have relegation release clauses? Or can you see them playing championship football? Says the Beast. I don't think they'll have relegation clauses, no. I mean, they might do, but I don't think they will. Why do you think previous managers all rated McTominay, says George? I don't know. Because he's not very good, is he? He must be brilliant in training. Nice ball out wide here to Doherty. Oh, he's crap. Passes it straight to Ziyech. Lukaku up against Sanchez. Is he going to run it out for a throw-in? He's done quite well there, Lukaku. Good recovery tackle by Davinson Sanchez. And he wins a foul, Lukaku. Neves or Zakaria? Well, Neves ain't happening, Sadat. It's a load of bullshit. So I wouldn't waste your time on it. I don't know where it's come from, but it's not true. Yeah. 33 minutes gone here anyway. 1-0 to Chelsea, an early goal. And they have been the better side. They've got a free kick here. Let's see what happens. Please subscribe, by the way. We're on the road to 604,000. Everyone's welcome on That's Football. Oh, it's another own goal. Oh, my good night. Spurs are back bottling cup games again. I don't even know. Comedy goal. Welcome to Comedy Gold. Welcome to the Comedy Channel. Comedy Central. It's Spurs defence. There's no Chelsea player anywhere near it. What a joke. Well, the cross comes in from Ziyech. Oh my God. Oh my God. Cross comes in. I think it's Tanganga heads it. It hits Ben Davies on the shoulder and goes in. I mean, it's massively unfortunate, but it's just typical Spurs. And it's 2-0. Comedy defending from Spurs. Mark, could you say which players don't like United stands, says Fame? You could probably guess. Most British. What would be the 11 you'd put out with the current Man United squad, says Baseface? Well, I don't want to spend the whole show talking about Manchester United. Spurs are 2-0 down here, and both goals are own goals. The first one, I don't think they could do anything about it. It was a shot from Havertz, but the second goal, there's not a Chelsea player anywhere near it. Like, it's a comedy goal because there's no Chelsea players anywhere near it. The cross comes in from Ziyech. Tanganga heads it away. It hits Davies' arm and goes in. Jam on toast, says Azim. Probably already Chelsea into the final here. I mean, 2-0. We've still got a game and a half to go. 2 legs, of course. But Chelsea don't concede many goals. And Spurs definitely need to get a goal. They really do. Ricky, I'll tell you, Mark, we lost to Wolves because we subbed Bruno on. McTominay was great. Jokes aside, I like Ricky's tactics, but his player choices, says DK. Ricky's on United stand tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, by the way. So, and also we've got Paul Ince on in the morning, which I think is going to be a cracking show because I'm going to talk to him about leaks from the dressing room and what he thinks. And also he thinks McTominay should be captain. Are there away goals, says Santosh? I don't know. I don't know. We don't get away goals in European football anymore, but I don't know whether we get away goals in this. United must get Rice, says Nick. I disagree. Spend that money a lot better. Ten Hag, Poch, Zidane or Rodgers for United, says Combs. Does it really matter? You know, get Ten Hag and the players go, we don't like the way he plays, we don't think he's very good. Because that's what they're doing at the moment, the ungrateful shits. I don't want to know if you're playing me. Made a meal and threw it up on Sunday. So 8 minutes to go to half time. And United are a bunch of prats, as we know. Ollie says he can get rice for £1 at Tesco. Stand by me. Well, I've not been very impressed with Spurs today. I don't know whether we've got any Spurs fans in the chat, but this doesn't feel like the Spurs I've been watching under Conte. But maybe that's a testament to how good Chelsea have been, because they've been much better than Spurs, who've just seems to have struggled a bit tonight. I don't know why. Maybe me. The things you say behind. Spurs will never win anything, says Jack. I mean, I disagree. I think he's a fantastic coach, Conte. Who will get top 4 predictions, says Terence. Well, look, I think it's a week on Saturday. No, so it's a week on Sunday, isn't it? It's Chelsea, Man City a week on Saturday, and it's Arsenal, Spurs a week on Sunday. I'm massively looking forward to the North London derby because, for one, they're in a straight shootout for top 4. It's the first North London derby at the Spurs' new ground where they've got a full capacity as well. And 2, it's got big implications for United as well. So Son goes wide. Now, back post first time. Oh, he should have crossed that first time there, Emerson. Oh, he put a good cross in, to be fair. And it ends up with Kepa. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that North London derby. I don't know. I can't call it. Who's better, Spurs or Arsenal? I'm sure a lot of you would like to say it's Arsenal if you're an Arsenal fan, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. When are you coming to Dublin, says Kevin. When Dublin opens up, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call my name, Dublin, and I'll be there. No, I'm not coming to Dublin till you open up. I'm not coming to Dublin so you can send me out of a pub at 8 o'clock at night. Hello, darling, says Mrs. Goldbridge. Yeah, I know it's not the real one. And not been this delusioned with United since the Super League. Player power is out of control, says Cameron Kieran. Dublin's not open. Don't lie to me. Lukaku! Timo Lukaku. He should have scored there. Lovely cross into the box. And he skim-headed it from the 6-yard box line. Ziyech, again, who's been wonderful tonight. No, he should score there, Lukaku. He should score there. Ziyech's been very impressive tonight, defensively and offensively. I mean, what a great squad player to have, Ziyech. Havertz has gone down now. He's hurt his eye now. Nick, thank you very much for the super chat. And Rice could walk into your midfield, but your backwards club wouldn't play him. Stop hating, says Richie D. You spent a fiver to expose yourself as an idiot, Richie. I like Declan Rice. So, for one, you're talking out your ass. And for two, I wouldn't take Declan Rice because he's too bloody expensive. And we actually need 3 or 4 players, not another £80 million player. So sit down. Sit down. But Lukaku should have scored there. Lukaku should have scored there, man. Yeah, no Liverpool-Arsenal watch-along tomorrow night. It's been called off because Liverpool have got a COVID outbreak. I rate Ziyech. Dylan said he was dropped from the Moroccan squad. I rate Ziyech. I loved him at Ajax. And look, whether he's good enough to start for Chelsea or not, I don't know. But he's certainly a player that can make a big influence in the squad when you've got so many games to play. Have you ever visited Derry City, says RSQ. No. What do the Gallaghers think of this game, Mark? The Gallaghers, Jack? I don't know. I can't do Noel. I can do a bit of Liam. You know, I can do a bit of Liam. You know, mate. I can. Will Lukaku score today, says Hem. Well, he should have scored. He should have scored.
I'm Harry Bain. If that had that chance like Lukaku, it'd be 1-0. The only thing hitting the net would be my balls.
After Klopp says all this about his 100% vaccinated team, they've got an outbreak, says Tim. Mark, my Christmas was horrible, says Brody. My brother, who happens to be a Liverpool fan, came to visit. I had to listen to his shush for a week. Good times. Jim White, yellow tie. Spurs need players, says Low. Yeah, look, I think if you're a Spurs fan, it's disappointing because you're 2-0 down. But as good as Conte is, this is still a Spurs side that, like the person just said there, does need a number of signings. And this is a Chelsea squad that's still amazing quality and depth. Yes, they've got a few players injured, but you know, they lose their 2 first-choice fullbacks, and then you bring in Alonso and Azpilicueta. I mean, what a tackle that is by Saul Niguez, and the shot's blocked. They've got... Saul Niguez is playing quite well tonight. But they've got a lot of quality, and Tottenham need to buy some players. Be interesting to see what Tottenham do in the January transfer window. I don't know whether they're linked to anybody. Have you noticed Chelsea played 4-2-2 this half? Yes, e.g. they are playing a 4-2-2. Another cross coming in there. Simon says, hi Mark, is Proctor the Doctor actually a proctologist? If so, he should give Peacock a thorough examination. He might find his head, says Simon. People are going to be going like, who's Proctor? He's my right winger in my career mode, which is on Twitch, which I've dropped the link in the video description for. Give us a follow. Juve versus Napoli on BT tomorrow night, says Joe Smith. I mean, I'm never opposed to doing a Serie A watch-along, but I don't think I will be watching that tomorrow night. I think winner of the North London derby gets 4th, says Piano. I think if Arsenal were to win that game, I think Arsenal would have a very strong chance, yes. FIFA's back tomorrow, iMac. Yeah, 2:30. Who's scored so far, says Exo? Chelsea got 2. Both. Havertz got 1, and then the other one was an OG. Dennis says, hi Mark, are you going to watch Serie A? In your opinion, how's Inter doing so well, despite financial problems, losing so many players and without Conte? Because I think Inter are a club that, unlike some clubs that when they've got a manager and they win a title and they lose their way, I think the mentality of that team is still very much, they've got a champions mentality, and I think it's helped them through this season. The way the United players are acting reminds me of the old Sky drama Dream Team. Maybe they've been watching DVDs of that, says Rena. Overinflated twats, basically. Cave, thank you very much for your super chat there. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. You're very welcome, everybody. Good play by Lucas Moura here. We're just about to hit half time. I'm worried for Liverpool and our future because I hear about the transfer window. FSG claim we may spend in the summer. I guess they mean 2050, says Envy. I think Liverpool do fantastically well to remain competitive when they don't actually sign that many players. It is half time. It's 1-0. It's not 1-0. It's 2-0 to Chelsea. Thoroughly deserved. Look, bit of a jammy second goal, but they've created the better chances. They've been the better team, and Spurs probably looking at another trophy competition. Although didn't they get to the final last year? They sacked Mourinho, didn't they, just before the Carabao Cup final? Who was in charge? Nobody, wasn't it? We don't know where he is now. Just putting this tweet out, and then I'll tell you what the topic for half time is, because it's what the tweet is. Join. Time chat. Okay. So basically, what I want to talk about at half time is because there's not a lot to talk about from the game. It was a very scratchy, patchy half from Spurs. In fact, I don't think they've tested the goalkeeper once, so they need to improve massively. Otherwise, Chelsea are just going to grind their way into the final. They've been the better side, and they've got a 2-goal lead here at the moment. So Spurs need to do something. Want to talk about half time. Should players who are leaking their information, undermining their manager to the press, should they be outed? is what I want to talk about. We saw Lukaku last week, interview done, basically undermining Tuchel, the club, saying he wants to be at Inter. We saw the reaction to that. Chelsea players, Chelsea manager, Chelsea fans turning their back on him and basically saying get out of our club. So much so that he had to come out and apologise. This last couple of days, loads of stories coming out that Manchester United players are divided, that they don't rate the new manager. He's only been there a month. The previous manager's been sacked because these players aren't good enough. And now those same players that aren't good enough are basically saying that this manager's not good enough. How can you trust players that aren't good enough, who've sacked one manager? Should they be named and shamed? And I think as a Man United fan, I think I can speak for many of us and say that there is a real frustration when your club is being embarrassed publicly because players are definitely saying things to the press and slagging off the manager, but we're not being given the names of the people who are doing it. And it needs to stop. It does need to stop, because if it was your club, I'm sure you'd feel the same. My issue with this is that we know for a fact that there is a problem in the United dressing room. We've known that for a while. But we also now know that there is a problem in the Man United dressing room with Rangnick. We need to know who those players are as well, because, one case of, poison infects the rest of the team. Now, I know 2 or 3 players that are not involved in this, but I don't know, and I know 2 or 3 players that are involved in it, but I know there's more than 2 or 3 involved, and I know there's more than 2 and 3 not involved. So it leaves you in that situation where everyone becomes under suspect. I'm worried for Liverpool and our future. I've done that one from FSG. But you know what? No one's going to bite the hand that feeds them, and there's a number of journalists. Look, Manchester United, I'm going to speak to Paul Ince in the morning about this, but I don't remember United being anything like this under Sir Alex. But since Sir Alex Ferguson's left, we get team news leaked every game an hour before. Every game. Somebody's putting it out. We've got more leaks than a hedgehog's pillow. I've said that so many times. There are so many leaks coming out of that club. And the reason you get all the... Do you have it as a Liverpool fan, as a Chelsea fan? Do you get the team news, hours before you kick off? Do you get loads of leaks? And I don't know whether you do or you don't, so I can't comment on it. But United never used to get it. And now everything's leaking all the time. Like, sometimes good stuff, sometimes bad stuff. And to me, it just means that they're disrespectful players. There's no camaraderie. They're not united. Because people who are leaking stuff are doing it for their own benefit, whether they're unhappy or they're happy. And it's disrespectful. And these journalists know who's doing it. And I think they do need to be named and shamed. But it's difficult because... these journalists who are getting the information, they're not going to expose these players who are giving them, basically paying their mortgage, because they're giving them massive stories that they get loads of people reading, and then they get big bonuses from their bloody boss, don't they? So they're not going to give them up. Should 100% be named and shamed, says Benjamin Isaac. But the fact that they don't get, named and shamed means that it continues and our club gets dragged through the mud. I mean, how embarrassing it is, whether you're a United fan or not. Imagine if it was your club. You're waking up this morning to players of your football club who put on your club shirt, basically saying your manager's shit and we can't be asked to play for him. It's disgusting. Hi, Mark. Do you think Rashford is having the same season Martial had last season, but it won't be mentioned because of his Brexit, says Neo B? I don't think Rashford's playing very well this season, no. And I don't see many ex-United players calling him out for it like they did Martial, so you make a good point. It's like Among Us. Luke Shaw is sus. Team leaks happening since Mourinho and Luke's the logical, obvious, and one, says My Big Melons. I don't know about Luke Shaw, to be honest with you. He's not somebody who I have any interaction with, so I can't speak for Luke Shaw. I do interact with some of them, but not Luke Shaw. I'd like to think it's not him, because I like him as a player, and I'd certainly say that the way Luke Shaw's quite honest after games... I wouldn't think it's him, but I don't know. What I don't understand is that you're saying that they should be named and shamed, but you have the opportunity to give a select few names to 10k people, says Max. Yeah, but it's not for me to do it, is it? I'm not the one who's getting the stories. I shouldn't have to do it. I'll tell you who it's not. It's not Ronaldo, it's not De Gea, and it's not McTominay. They're 3 I know it's not. I know 3 who it is. I'm not going to say it. I want to know who is leaking, disrespecting, and then get them out of the club, says Sally Devil Red. And Hello says he'll get sued. Well, yeah, you know what? I probably would get sued because I'm not getting the leaks that the press. I'm not. The problem is these journalists who are getting the leaks. They're probably giving them something as well. They'll be being paid for it. I don't know whether people understand this. You might not live in the UK, but if a journalist is getting information from somebody in that dressing room, they ain't doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're probably getting a bit of money for it as well. So there'll be all sorts of confidentiality agreements signed and everything like that. So yeah, it's a horrible situation for United, and that's why I brought the conversation in, because it'll happen to your club if you're unlucky. We're a laughing stock. We're a laughing stock because we're losing games. We're a laughing stock because of the way we're playing. But we're also a laughing stock because our players can leak information to journalists and massively undermine our club and get away with it. And it's very frustrating. Love the content, Mark, says Cave. Keep it up. Mark, get Colleen to find the moles, says Nick. Yeah, we need Colleen Rooney to help us out. Harry Bain to United is the latest leak, says Jack Oliver. And well, somebody in the United dressing room leaks the team on a consistent basis. We know that. Could the leaks be coming from Mike Phelan, says Gareth? Ralph or Conte, Mark, says Marketing James. I think Conte would have made a bigger impact at Manchester United, quite simply because he wouldn't have taken the job. Conte never would have taken the job for with Darren Fletcher and Mike Phelan still there advising him. He wouldn't have done it. So for me, I would have took Conte because United need a reset. They definitely do. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right hand corner. Would you ever come to a Celtic game at Celtic Park? You'd love it, bro, says Celtic Dad. I'd love to, yeah. I mean, that's one of the things. It's probably not on my list this year. This year, my plan is to get out and about a bit. There's a few cities I want to visit. And I'm not massively about going around watching different football matches this year, but I will want to do that at some point. Hey Mark, well, they're already leaking news. What is stopping them from leaking false news to cause upset, says Akil. And Mark, I have a question. If you Man United fans want the Glazers out, then which owner will you bring in? I don't know, the zombie. It's not like replacing your centre-back, is it? If somebody said to me, would you sell Harry Maguire? Yes, I would. What centre-backs would you bring in? I'll give you a list of 4 or 5 that I'd bring in. I like Koundé. I still think Badiashile at Monaco is interesting. I'd still personally think Koulibaly would be interesting. I'd like to give Twansebi a bit of a chance. There's loads of centre back options, but in relation to owners, I don't really scout owners like I scout players. Don't read this chat. Just do a long stretch if Maguire and Rashford are 100% leaks, says Thomas. I'm not doing stretches. I'm not doing blinks. Not doing that. That reminds me, actually, just talking about something I'm going to do this year. This is going to make you laugh. My teeth are rubbish. They've always been rubbish. I've still got some baby teeth here. My front 2 teeth are like gravestones. And this year, I'm not in for all that stuff, but I think I'm going to get like a tooth job. I'm not getting a boob job. I'm getting a tooth job. So if anybody knows or can recommend a good dentist who does that sort of thing, let me know in the chat. If you are one, we can do a video. You'll get loads of free promotion. But yep, I'm gonna get that done this year because I'm fed up with my teeth, and I'm not really into that sort of vanity stuff. But I'm thinking about getting that done. So yes, any dentists out there, let me know. Although what I would say is, if I'd gone bald, I definitely would have done a Rooney. I love my hair, and if I lost my hair, I would definitely put a rug on it. I'd get them implants in. So, yeah, I'd love to do that. Go to Firmino's dentist. Either that or Klopp or Brendan Rodgers. My grandma can do it for a £5, says Tyron. I'm surprised nobody said, I'll sort your teeth out, 1 punch. I'll give you a filling, Mark, says Archie. That just makes me feel sick, especially when I'm full up. Mark, would you get rid of Rashford and buy Saka, says Penguin? No, I think there's a player in Rashford. I do think there's a player in Rashford. I think with some of our players, I don't think they're good enough, but I do think there's a player there. I did watch Sons of Anarchy, DJ. Very, very good. I tell you what, I mean, Toothbridge, Dentist Bridge, Burger Bridge, Cat Bridge, says Reese. I tell you what, it'd be a good video when I do it, though. Goldbridge teeth job. Goldbridge gets his teeth fixed. That'd be a good video. People would watch that. I think there's a promotion here for the best dental person in the Midlands, do it me for a reduced rate, and then you'll have your link in the video description. You'll get loads of service, and that I'll be a constant promotion because I'll be smiling. Can put a little glint on there. Certain journalist and goalkeeper relations could be the league. We need a proper takeover and not this semi-control the board seem to have given Ralph Rangnick, says Nick. And Mark, what the hell is Ralph meant to do now? This shower of tosses have made his job impossible, says Andy Bruno. Well, look, Dean Henderson has always been a name that's been attached with leaks. Now, whether he is leaking information or not, he's always the name that gets mentioned about wanting to leave the club. But what I would say in defence of Dean Henderson is, how can he be the man in the dressing room going, I don't rate this Ralph Rangnick, his style of football shit? Well, he's a goalkeeper, so style of football doesn't really impact on a goalkeeper that much. And also, David De Gea has been world class this season, so even if you're Dean Henderson's best mate, you can't really go, yeah, Dino's right, he should be the number one. So I don't think Dean Henderson actually makes sense from what I was told this afternoon. This is first team players undermining the manager. Well, that's not Dean Henderson, is it? Senna, Schumacher or Hamilton, who's the GOAT of F1? It will always be Senna to me, Partek, even though he's got the least titles. Odds on FPL said that Henderson is a leak. Can you blink twice if Rashford and Maguire are involved, says My Big Melons. And look, I think Dean Henderson may have leaked information about wanting to leave. It doesn't make sense why he'd be the one turning the players against Ralph Rangnick, because as I say, he's not a first team player. Trippier's gone to Newcastle. Get in. Love it. And talk about Chelsea, not Man United, says Catchy. Well, Ndombele's coming on for Spurs, and I think that Chelsea are looking very, very strong in this game. Goldbridge just blinked twice. I'm going to blink quite a few times, aren't I? It tends to happen. Please subscribe, by the way. We've got 12,000 people watching tonight. There is no watch-along tomorrow because the Liverpool game against Arsenal has been called off because of another game being impacted by COVID. So that is still an issue in the UK. Hi, Mark. Any updates on the women's team that you've sponsored and how they're doing in their league? Says Unwon. Solihull Moors women, sponsored by That's Football. I don't know how they're doing in the league. They've had a difficult season, actually. I almost feel like I've jinxed them. The Goldbridge jinx. Their manager left. They were getting absolutely smashed. I think they've stabilised a bit now, but it's certainly a rebuild season now. I feel I better sponsor them next year because they're going through a bit of turmoil at the moment. It's definitely a rebuild. I can't escape these situations really. England are shit, United are shit, and I won't say what I was going to say there. Let me just sort the timer out. The second half has kicked off. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Everyone's welcome on That's Football. We always have some good chats. And the second half is up and running. We are 20 seconds in. Hi Mark, what do you think of the Southampton takeover? This is Kieran. This thing's happening today I'm not even aware of. Who's taken over Southampton? So, can Spurs get back? Oh, Son nearly getting on the end of the cross. That would have been a great start to the second half for Spurs, but good defensive play by, I think it was Azpilicueta. I mean, this is the thing about Chelsea. 2-0 is a hard scoreline against most sides, but Chelsea are a very good defensive side as well. Of course, the second leg is at Spurs. It's a Czech billionaire taking over Southampton. I do think we're going to get to a point where most Premier League clubs are owned by billionaires. And in which case, what happens? Do you get some billionaires that will pay £500 million for a player? Or does it just level it out? Oh, Lewis says, is it a coincidence that the Liverpool game gets called off the minute Salah and Mane go to the AFCON? Well, to be fair to Liverpool, though, if Matip and Alisson are out with COVID, and then Mane and Salah are out because of the AFCON, that's 4 players out straight away. You know, they haven't got the biggest squad, Liverpool, anyway, so you can sort of see why it's starting to happen. The United Stand Sunday shows got me through dental school. I'm a cosmetic dentist based in the Midlands. Drop me a DM. Says Amajit Lander. Sounds good. Sounds good. There's our first take. Our first nibble. Alexander Isaac is close to move to Arsenal, says Isaac Talksport. Be a bloody good move that would, Isaac. Daniel says, I've been very busy all day just reading the news, and as a United fan I'm absolutely embarrassed and disgusted by United players' behaviour towards Ranić when just weeks ago they were excited about him. It's rubbish, says Daniel. It's disgusting. It really is. Emerson's overrated, says Nicola. Yeah, he's not really done anything for me. Every time I've watched him I've not been that impressed. I think Conte will bring in... Oh, lovely bit of play there. Oh, he needed to move that quicker. He's given a free kick on the edge of the box. It was good play by Ndembele, but he could have knocked it out wide. Yeah, what positions do you think Conte will play? I like Tomiyasu, Josh. What positions do you think Conte will go for? I think he'd like another midfielder to play next to Højbjerg. Maybe they'll go for Brozovic. Recommend a film for tonight, says Otto. I'm massively into my series at the moment. There's some brilliant series. I was saying this the other day. I don't understand. Let's see what happens with this free kick, and I'll come back to that. Shaw and Wan-Bissaka apparently not happy with Ronaldo, says Fame. Yeah, probably because he keeps bollocking them for putting shit crosses into the box. I couldn't give a shit if people are unhappy with Ronaldo. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's like thick people being unhappy with a genius. Like, I'm unhappy that you're more intelligent than me. Well, swivel on it. So Kane's on the free kick.
I'm Harry Bain. I got a free kick on the edge of the box. Everybody's watching me. It's the world is watching Harry Bain. Get in the bin, Batman. Here I go. Harry Bain with a free kick and the world's watching. Oh, he saved it, you shit. I don't believe it. Kepa saved it. Kepa saved it.
He got the shot through, but the keeper saved it. The keeper saved it. Sarragon says, name the journalist. Mitten, Whitwell, Luckhurst. Where's the detective in you? I don't know what journalist am I naming. They'll all have... All three of those will have players who are talking to them. All three of them. If they're decent journalists, they'll have at least one player talking to them, 100%. If Haaland comes to Madrid, then maybe United should go for Benzema. If Ralph wants to stick with two up front, I have a feeling Ralph will manage next year, says Zach. Look, I speak to players, not even just Man United players, and I would never, ever, ever expose the information they gave me, because they would never give me information that I would need to expose them about, because they'd know not to do something that would piss me off. And that's not threatening, but they wouldn't come to me and start talking about Ranić is shit, because they know that would be dangerous, because they know what my principles are. But any decent journalist is going to have a number of sources, and they'll be paying some of them as well. Will Martial be with United in February, says Brody. Well, he's got to sort his move out, hasn't he, really? He's got to sort of move out. Saul's playing well, says Sean. Yeah, I've liked Saul Niguez has been decent tonight. He's been decent. I've never watched The Wire, Alex. It's a brilliant series, but I've never watched it. What's the best bachelor's party you've been to? I need to plan one from a friend. Please help, says Jeremy. I think a bachelor's party is a stag do, isn't it? That's what we call it here in the UK. Will you watch the new Peaky Blinders series when it comes out? Yes, I will, Maldini. I'm looking forward to that one. My bachelor's party was quite good. Tequila. But I think the best ones are where you go away somewhere. I think Amsterdam's just a cliche. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere like Dublin, which is probably a bit of a cliche. But look, I was going to say this. There is a film on Netflix that you could watch. It's the one with DiCaprio in it. I think it's a bit of a comedy. There's Jennifer Lawrence is in it, Meryl Streep. There's a few people in it. There's Jonah Hill's in it, I think, as well. But I'm not really watching films at the moment because there's so many series out at the moment, and I've never known a January like it. And I was saying to my mate the other day, I've never known I mean, even this month, Afterlife's coming out from Ricky Gervais, The Sinner's coming out, season 4, Peaky Blinders is coming out very soon. I think Ozark's out very soon as well. There's so many good series out at the moment, and my theory is COVID shut everybody down, didn't it? And then as soon as COVID ended, I think everyone got back in the studios, and then they filmed everything, and now it needs to come out. So I just think there's a huge influx of stuff coming through because they all had to shut down for 8 months because of COVID. So I've never known a January like it. Ozark's coming out on the 21st. Bloody hell. Yeah, I've never known a January like this where there's just so much good content out at the moment. Book of Boba Fett's out today, isn't it? I think the second episode's out today. I don't know what time it comes out. Cobra Kai season 4. Ziyech. Oh, I didn't wrap his foot around it. Straight at Larice. Ozark's fantastic. The Sinner's out on the 26th. I do think Rafina will be at Leeds in February, Alex. Yes. Hi Mark, can you give a shout out to Football Fan Show? They're very big fans of you and hope to become as big as you one day. Keep up the good work, says Red Devil's Home. Yeah, big shout out to Football Fan Show. You'll never be as big as me because I'm 6 foot, but good luck with that. Ndembele shoots over the bar. Mark, have you watched Forrest Gump? I watched it ages ago, Sam. Peep Show's very good, but The Office is better, David Kelly. Peaky Blinders is out this month as well. Bloody hell. So much good stuff. Do you was the Windows? Connor, I don't know what you're talking about. I think you've tried to be funny, but you've not actually spelt it right. Is Breaking Bad the best program ever, says Helmy. I do like Breaking Bad, but I wouldn't say it's my favourite program ever. Do you like streaming services that release the whole season together, or do it one a week? And what I mean is, like Disney, they do one show a week, don't they? When they release a series, so you get one show a week. Whereas Netflix, they'll release the whole season. I actually think I prefer the whole season out. But I suppose the bonus of doing it one a week is that people can't rush ahead, so you've got more chance of avoiding spoilers. So bit of a split in the chat. Some are saying all together, some are saying one a week. I don't have the time to binge watch me, that's the problem. Just saw a random video of Ander Herrera and I felt so sad. Do you ever feel sad or have regrets of being a United fan, especially with the Glazers? All the time, DK. Most days. Mindhunter's not coming out. Don't do that to me, Lewis. Mindhunter's not coming out. There's no way they're doing another Mindhunter. Don't make me happy. No, they're not. They're not. There's no season 3. Oh, you got me there. I'd love to see Mindhunter season 3. You should watch Snowpiercer Netflix. Thank me later. I tried to, Arjun, and I couldn't get to grips with it. Did you see Jimmy Carr's new comedy, new comedy on Netflix? No, Sean, I haven't seen that. And Book of Boba Fett is a masterpiece, Mark. 10 out of 10. Is it out now, Ranyik? And yeah, Mindhunter was good. Bit of a cult show, but it was a bit good. Stranger Things, I don't know when that's out. I think it's out this year. There's so much coming out. Mark, I think Donny is the perfect Ji-Sung Park replacement we've been missing, says Enrique. Is Bruno your favourite player at Man United, says Penguin? I do like Bruno, but I think Ronaldo's the GOAT. It's a dream having him back. It's a bit of a nightmare in the team he's playing in, but it's a dream having him back. Watch Dexter and Ray Donovan. You're welcome, says Nick. Friday night dinner is very good, Connor. I would recommend it. Anyway, let's keep an eye on the game a little bit here. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way. You're very welcome. Everyone's welcome on That's Football. It's going to be a big year, isn't it, actually? I was thinking about this. I know I spoke about it the other day, but the Euros wasn't that long ago. We had some massive watch-along streams in the Euros, like tens of thousands of people watching. We've got the World Cup this year in December, and we'll be doing a lot of watch-alongs again, but I think it's just going to be so weird. I was talking to the wife about this today, and I said, it's going to be really weird because, normally at weekend times and nights in December, I'm arranging, nights out, Christmas parties. And there's going to be so many bloody World Cup games on. I'm going to be, are you coming to the Christmas party? No, I'm watching Bulgaria play Belgium. I love you, Mark. You crack me up every single day. I love Brett Lass alone in Euston, says Beryl. Big up, Beryl. Cross comes in. Saunagaz puts it wide. No beer gardens for the football. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be weird as well. When you think about major tournaments in the UK, it's these big... Clarkson's Farm is good. Got Beasting on his bum. I only watched the first episode, Jeremy. This is what I mean. I don't know if you're in that situation, but I mean, it's a nice situation to be in because I've been in situations where I've got nothing to watch and I'm searching Netflix or whatever for something to watch. At the moment, I've got too much to watch. Saul is good, says Romario. Chelsea looking very comfortable here. I don't know. I almost feel that even with the second leg to come, Chelsea have already got this game on lockdown. Tie on lockdown. Hello, Mark. Are you coming to Qatar for the World Cup? No, KJK, I'm not. I'll be doing watch-alongs, but I won't be going to Qatar. I might play the guitar, but I'm not going to Qatar. I have watched Stranger Things, Rob. I haven't watched Better Call Saul. Apparently it's very good. Are players really against the manager or reports exaggerated, says King Chris. They are against the manager, but they'll come out saying they're not. They have to do that. Gangs of London is amazing. I watched that last year, Max D. I don't know whether they're doing a season 2. And after hearing we won't get a new midfielder unless we have an injury emergency, Ronaldo and Bruno will definitely be two-footing McTominay in training, says Joshua Bowwater. I'll tell you what, I've driven... I feel like the Proclaimers today. You know when they say, I would walk 500 miles. I've driven 500 miles today. Oh, Gangs of London is coming out, season 2. Don't know when it's out. Is Chelsea on the break? Werner. Ooh, just shoots wide. I don't know when it's out. I quite liked season 1. It was alright. Who would you recommend? What would you recommend on Netflix, says Steve? Well, fire away in the chat. There's some cracking stuff on there. Should watch Outer Banks, Mark, says Leland. And hi, Mark. I'm planning to start my personal football blog. Any tips to keep growing and attract viewers? Love your content. Keep up the great work. Just have your own voice, Sawyer. Don't copy others. Got to watch The Boys, Mark, says Grant. Harry Kane is gone down here. Let's have a look. Nah, there's nothing in that. It's gone down.
I'm Harry Bain. I'm Harry Bain. He's hit me in the face, ref. I'm Harry Bain. I'm bloody hit me in the face. It should be a red card, that should, ref.
It shouldn't be a red card. It wasn't that bad. He got a yellow card. I don't think it should have been that. I don't think he should have got a yellow. Werner's come on for Havertz at half time, by the way, and Harry Kane is still.
I'm still hurting my face. It's still hurting my face, ref. I can't believe it. Oh, Harry Kane. We need to change that from a yellow to a red.
He's still down, Harry. Top Boy's good. I don't think they're going to do another series, are they? Because one of them got into quite a lot of trouble. Hi, Mark. Heard you got jumped by some geese a couple of weeks ago. I hope you're okay. If it makes you feel better, I bought a coat, geese, feathers stuffed. It says, okay. That's not even a yellow card there, I don't think. Would you take Ismail Sarr at United, says Joel? I think we need better than that. Laurent Blanc is in Qatar and he's got James Rodriguez, Azonzi and many others, and he is in relegation battle. I hope he does not come to United. He won't come to United, KJK. Hi Mark, just want to say that I love your content, especially United stand career. You make me laugh every day. Sal Proctor. Ooh, Mike, you're not going to get a lot of love for that. You're not going to get a lot of that. Lord of the Rings is coming out in the summer, says Jude James. Yes, it is. And I think isn't Obi-Wan Kenobi coming out this year as well. So much good TV this year. It's almost like they've got a backlog because of COVID. Do you think it's possible we are better without Ronaldo? No, original member. You know what? Let me instead of me just being blunt, why would we be better without Ronaldo? Explain that to me. Why would a team that creates no chances for its striker and has a massive problem with its midfield and its defence, why is that the problem of a striker? Like what? So we don't have Ronaldo and we put Rashford up front or Greenwood up front and we're going to be better. Why? Why are we going to be better? The midfield's still going to be shit. The defence is still going to play deep and make mistakes. What? And we're still going to not make chances for our striker. So why would we be better? Say Miasi, thank you very much. He's happy. And like Lala says, Ronaldo is actually the only reason Manchester United are in the Champions League. Like, single reason, him and David De Gea. But Ronaldo's goals, most of which were individualistic. Here's Ben Davies, got a lot of time on the left. Crap cross. And another crap cross. He was a bad buy. Favourite commentator, says Nate. I don't watch enough football with the sound on to really talk about that now. I'd say 99% of the games I watch are watchalongs, so I have no noise on. So I don't really have a favourite commentator. Lovely play here. Martinho loses the ball. I'm telling you, Mike, it's the awful manager keeps blaming me. The poor keeper scripting and legacy defending. Ollie in, says Proctor the Doctor. And Mark, I'm almost in tears with the situation. Oh, Timo's missed. He's done what he does. Let's watch this back. I mean, yet again, Ziyech. What a ball. What a ball by Ziyech. Timo Werner, he should score. I mean, Lloris does well. He's got to lob it over him, but he should score. Mark, I'm almost in tears with the situation at United. I've spent thousands of pounds going to matches following the team I love. Can you see it getting any better, says Azad? No. I hope it gets better, but I don't see it getting any better. Zane says thank you. Gamora is the bomb. Oh, it's a fantastic series, Gamora. It's Italian subtitled, but it's fantastic. It's very good. Timo. Yeah, he should have scored. It wasn't a sitter, but I still think he should score. What a ball by Ziyech, though. I think Ziyech's been fantastic tonight. Defensively brilliant, and he should have had 2 assists, really. Timo should have scored, and Lukaku should have scored. I think Chelsea looked more likely to get the 3rd goal here, though. Ziyech would be my man of the match, yes. If I could choose between Kamara or Neves, I'd get Neves Prem because he's Premier League proven. I stopped watching Walking Dead. I got bored of it. Yeah. I never missed an episode when Rick was in it, but thoughts on Roma as a club, says Emil. I got to be honest, a lot of people talk to me about Serie A, and I do like Serie A, but I don't watch it much now. I don't. Ever since COVID, I've just never really rekindled. That's the honest truth. Roma in 6th. I'm just looking at the league table. Inter back on top. Inter and Milan are at the top. Inter with 46. Milan got 42 points. Napoli got 39 points. Atalanta have got 38 points. Then Juventus with 34 and Roma with 32. Lost the last 2 games though, Roma. Difficult job. I actually thought Mourinho at back in Serie A, I thought he'd be really good. Oh, half a chance for Mora from a cross. Puts it over the bar. In what order would you have the top 7 as it stands, says PS Player? So where I think they'll finish in May. So Man City first. I actually think Chelsea will get second. So I go Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. It's hard between Liverpool and Chelsea, but I do think Chelsea will get second. So I think I said that at the start of the season as well. So Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. 4th place. It's difficult. I think that North London derby in a week on Sunday is really key. I can't predict it. I would say Spurs and Arsenal 4th and 5th at the moment. I just don't know which. I don't know which order. I do think United will get 6th and West Ham 7th. Mark, my profile photo is the GOAT, Walking Dead, almost bad as your football. I heard Maguire has guest appearance in it as a zombie. I thought Walking Dead had finished. I presume, I don't know when they're bringing out. It's normally February, isn't it? They bring out the second half of the season. Not saying we're worse right now with Ronaldo because that's just wrong. He has stunted Mason's growth. Look what he was doing at the start of the year, says Daniel. Yeah, but I disagree with that, Daniel, because Mason Greenwood's never been played as the lone striker anyway. He wasn't being played as the lone striker by Ollie, so I don't think Mason Greenwood's being stunted by Ronaldo. Phil says, can you do a Paul Ince impression like you do one for Ricky? I can't really do Paul Ince, Phil, to be honest. I've never even thought about it. I'll watch him tomorrow and see if I can come up with something. The point of the game is to win, not cry and be selfish to who's going to score first. Just cross the ball in the box and let Ronaldo header it in, says Apollo. And Son says, Ziyech showing Morocco what they are missing. I can't believe he's not in the Moroccan squad. I rate Ziyech, I do. Seb's very well, thank you. The one and only Man United supporter. I have heard about Paulina from Sporting, Luisa. He played in the Euros. I tell you what, Chelsea deserve to be winning this game 2-0, but if Spurs could just get one back, it sets the second leg up, gives them a bit of a chance in the second leg, where they'll have home support, but Chelsea get the third goal, it's over. Here's Sao Niguez coming forward. He's had a good game today. Puts it wide to Lukaku. Terrible first touch. And corner Chelsea. Fever. Why would you drop Ronaldo? I just saw somebody say there Ronaldo needs to be dropped. Do you watch Manchester United? And why would you drop a striker who's getting no service? Like, we don't put crosses into the box. You don't drop Ronaldo. Even Sir Alex Ferguson got caught bloody saying it after the Everton game. You don't drop Ronaldo. Mark, when you cover your mouth and talk, looks like Tom Hardy from the movie The Dark Knight Rises. That's who I'm meant to be, Irvin.
I'm Harry Bane. That's what I meant to do. I'm Bane from Batman. Tom Hardy, but it's Harry Bane. I'm Harry Kane combined with Bane. I'm Harry Bane. That's the whole point. I'm getting very tired of people not realising who I am. And I'm getting very tired of playing up front for Spurs. Running around like a twat. I'm trying now and I'm still not getting any goals. The world's watching and I'll be thinking, who is this Harry Bane? I may as well be Danny Ings. The crap Aldi version of me. He plays for Villa and thinks he can play in the Champions League. It's hilarious. Danny Ings is an oldie Harry Bain, and he doesn't belong in an England squad, let alone the Champions League. Danny Ings in the Champions League, we might as well all go home and have a big shit.
Ziggy from Play School. What would you rather win, Mark? Champions League or Premier League? As a Manchester United fan, Harry, I want us to win the Premier League next. If you're a Man City fan, you're going to want to win the Champions League because you keep winning the Premier League. Mark, I don't understand when people say it's United players' fault. Which players are still here since Van Gaal? Shaw, De Gea, Matic, Martial and Rashford. I think it's lack of identity and playing style. Thank you. And watch. Amazing how Harry Kane has just been since the Euros. I mean, he's had no service tonight, to be fair. Do you think a 4-3-1-2 will work with Ralph, says Mark and James? You definitely need an attacking midfielder, bring it in. Yeah, you can't play 4-2-4 in the Premier League with wide wingers and two up front. It's terrible. I'm getting messages saying Smiler Bridge. I'm just going to reply and say, no, a decent dentist? It's not even a dentist, is it? It's a cosmetic dentist I need. Driving test soon. Did you do it on your first try? Advice, says Juiced Vibes. My driving test, I didn't do it on my first try. Cross cleared by Spurs. I failed the first time. Yeah, it was a stupid reason as well. Thoughts on Eddie? Great player but quiet recently, says Rotter. Yeah, he's not been good recently. But neither, you know, I think Eddie and Cristiano are in the same position whereby they are strikers without service. So it's hard for them to do. It's hard for them to work, isn't it? 15 minutes to go. Yes, Mark, says Angus. Stand by me. Nobody knows the way it's gonna be. If you're leaving, will you take me with you? I'm tired of talking on my own. There is one thing I will never give you. My heart will never be your home. What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you? Sing me something new. Don't you know the cold and wind and rain don't know? They only seem to let it go away. Stand by me. Nobody knows the way it's gonna be.
Bain sings Oasis. Harry Bain sings Oasis. New album out now.
Slide away and give it all you got. Not today. Felon from the top. A dream of you and all thought of growing old. I wonder where you are now. Sliding, baby. Together you'll try. And don't look back in anger, I heard you say.
God, I'm bored of this game. Slow Sports News, live on That's Football. Slow Sports News, Spurs are shit. They have been shit tonight, Spurs. I'm very disappointed with Spurs tonight. It's been very easy for Chelsea, considering the changes Chelsea have made as well. If I was Tuchel, I'd be very happy with this tonight. You've got Lukaku back in the team. Timo Werner's fit again. You know, you've got two striking options back. And, oh, he should have scored on the back post there. Ziyech volleys it over the bar. But, you know, no Kovacic, no Kante playing. I think Mason Mount didn't play, did he? Or did he play? I can't remember. Has Mason Mount played in this game? Please hope he didn't start. He did. He's only just come off. I don't know. I haven't really noticed Mason Mount tonight. But they have made some changes, of course. Thiago Silva hasn't played as well. And this is one of Spurs' strongest teams. So they've Saul Niguez has played well, like Tom said. So For Chelsea, this is definitely important. I know at the weekend they're playing somebody absolutely shit in the FA Cup, so that should be straightforward for them. Massive game for Chelsea next week against Man City in the Premier League at Saturday lunchtime, but they're playing Wednesday night, second leg at Spurs. So if they're 2-1 up, that's going to be a yellow card for Rudiger, surely. He's purposely blasted the ball at Ndembele there. Has the referee not seen it? Mark, £50 says United will get the Champions League next season. Let's go. Take the bet. I will take the bet, Nick. I'd happily pay £50 to get Manchester United in the Champions League, so I will take that bet. Please subscribe, says Renate, if you are new. Yes, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, you're very welcome. Lots of content on here. I've started uploading little debate things as well. Jordan says, if you want to get your teeth done, everyone I know has had it done and gone to Turkey. I'm not going to bloody... I know people who've done that as well because it's cheap. I'm not getting on a plane. I ain't getting on no plane. I ain't getting on no plane. What's in that milk? Oh, I ain't getting on a plane. Remember that on BA. Remember that on the 18. BA Baracus, Mr. T. I ain't getting on no plane, Hannibal. I ain't getting on no plane. I ain't getting on no plane. Nothing ain't getting me on the plane. You want me to drink that milk? Every week he'd fall for it. Stop drinking the bloody milk he's given. You're moaning about going on a plane. Hannibal goes, drink this milk then. You don't matter. And every week he'd fall for it. He'd drink the milk with some tranquilizer in it, fall asleep. I've been on a plane, haven't I? I ain't getting on no plane to go. I don't really like flying, and I don't like dentists, so I'm definitely not. It's like that's a threesome I'm not doing. Plane to have my teeth pulled out. No. I'm bored of Spurs. I mean, sometimes it creates the best streams because I just go off on a tangent, but Spurs have been boring. Hi, baby, I'm back, says Sean Deitch. It's market, worms and gravel, a natural and English way to whiten your teeth. We've got 10 minutes to go. I did a short... Anyway, please subscribe to the channel. We're getting very close to 604,000. We're only 300 away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. The next watch-along I'm going to do is... I've got quite a busy week next week because we'll have the return leg of this on the Wednesday. We've got Liverpool-Arsenal first leg on the Thursday. I'm doing a Tuesday night Premier League game, which I can't remember what it is. And I'm also doing FA Cup Forest against Arsenal. That could be funny. On Sunday. But I do put stuff up on the channel. I put my FIFA career mode highlights if you don't know what that's all about. Goldbridge TV is where I do it live at 2:30 tomorrow. And also, headed over the bar from Spurs. I do little short debates. I put one up today. Man United is still better than Arsenal. But you need to watch it. It's not like United are better than Arsenal because at the moment Arsenal are better than United. But it's about what's going to happen in May. I still think United might finish above Arsenal, even though Arsenal have got the momentum. James Garner is at Forest, which is why I'm looking forward to doing the watch-along. It's the first time I've watched Forest play in over a year. So I'll get to watch Garner, who's on loan from United. Love the hoodie, says Prime. Yeah, if you want to get this hoodie, by the way, just go type in United Stand Shopify and you'll see our shop. Some nice hoodies on there. I'd like to do darts watch along, but it's basically over now, X, isn't it? I'm doing Super Bowl. I'm doing the Super Bowl next month. Looking forward to that. And if there's big boxing matches, I'll be doing that as well. Oliver's watched the new Bond movie and it's fantastic. I enjoyed it as well, Oliver. Yes. I think it's Leicester versus Everton I'm doing, honey. Yes. Yes, honey. You've been to the darts, Mark, would you? It's class, says Raz. I've been asked to go so many times, Raz, and I thought Thogden would go to the opening of a packet of crisps. I saw Thogden there the other night. I mean, he really will go to anything. I love the lad, but he'd go to the opening of a new bloody Sainsbury's in Redditch. He'll go anywhere in a banana suit. But I don't know. I probably would love the darts, because I love... There's nothing I like more than being in a pub, watching a game of football, having a few pints. So, atmosphere, isn't it? How long till the leaking players realise Ranić is manager till at least May, then effectively on the board for 2 years? He's here longer than them, says Elliot. I hope so. Love the show, says Ari. Great, thank you. Super smashing. That's a bit of a darts reference, if you know. Can't beat a bit of bully. Here's Harry Kane. In wide. Ndembele. Ndembele. And Kepa's got it. Mark, I got food poisoning making your pigs in blankets. Please give us a more accurate recipe. You played me like a kazoo there, says Ernest. Well, I didn't, Ernest. You've got to put them in the bloody oven. I didn't say wrap your sausage in bacon and eat it. That could be a metaphor for something you don't want to do. In fact, if you could do that, you're very talented. You must have had a couple of ribs taken out. But, yeah, when you wrap your sausage in bacon, you're meant to put it in the oven for at least 40 minutes. Jaffa cakes or hobnobs? Ah, Gary. Rah. What am I meant to do with a Jaffa cake? I used to like Jaffa cakes when I was about 6. If someone gave me a Jaffa cake now, I'd probably throw it out the window. I'd probably volley it. I'd throw it up in the air and go, Rooney! Boom! And volley it. Bloody Jaffa cakes. Hobnob is the elite biscuit. I mean, the hobnob's not... If I said to a hobnob, what's better, a hobnob or a Jaffa cake, and I've got a Jaffa cake in my hand, the hobnob would go, I ain't even getting out the packet for this. I'm better than this. It's like comparing Ronaldo to bloody Danny Ings. Like, a Jaffa cake against a hobnob is like Lionel Messi against Nathan Redmond. It's just, he ain't getting out of bed for it. Hobnobs, you can dunk it in a biscuit and it will soak up half your tea. You put a Jaffa cake in a cup of tea, it's a massacre. It's just going to be a big chocolate mess. Can't stand Jaffa cakes. The internet can go down. It's back again. Free kick on the edge of the box for Chelsea. Refresh. Tell him to refresh. We're back. It's because I upset Jaffa cakes. Free kick for Chelsea on the edge of the box. If they were to score this, the game's over. I'm just looking at myself there. I look very old and depressed. Thanks for all the super chats tonight, by the way. I think we've read most of them out. If you like hobnobs over Jaffa cakes, then I'm sorry, you're a flat earther, says My Big Melons. I can't... other way round for me, Big Melons. Other way round. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Jaffa cakes aren't a biscuit. There we go. That's it. That's your clip. Jaffa cakes aren't a biscuit. You know, if we're talking biscuits, hobnobs are biscuits. If we're talking great footballers, Ronaldo's a great footballer. If we're talking Jaffa cake, it's not a biscuit. It's like saying who's the best footballer, Cristiano Ronaldo or Tom Daley. He's a diver, Tom Daley, and I don't mean like Mo Salah. I mean he's a diver, like a proper diver. He jumps off diving boards into water to win medals. A Jaffa cake's not a biscuit. It's a cake. Exactly, it's a cake. Jaffa cake. It's like comparing a packet of sweets with a packet of crisps. It's a stale cake at that, yeah. But I don't mind Jaffa cakes. I'm just telling you, if I come round your house and you say, do you want a Jaffa cake? I'll say no. Blunt. I'm not being rude, but I don't want a Jaffa cake. I'd rather have a rich tea biscuit than a Jaffa cake because it's a biscuit. Mark, thoughts on the F1 upon reflection? Surely a race cannot be thrown away like that, and with it, the championship was decided, no integrity. Yeah, Alex, they've got a big problem going forward. That David Brent do better job than Woodward, says Matteo. And Mark, Ralph's role in the board for the next 2 years will be interesting. He could start getting rid of the players that are leaking things out, says Matthew Everson. Yeah, I've definitely been, what's it called? What's the word when you get wound up? Triggered. I've been triggered by Jaffa cakes here. Jammy Dodgers are lovely. The originals, not the bloody Tesco Poundland version. Not Tesco value. Proper jammy Dodgers. I don't know who make them, but really sticky jam in it. Dip it in a cup of tea. Oh, Spurs! No, he's not giving a penalty. Good save by Kepa. Yeah, the proper jammy Dodgers are good. Now it's Chelsea coming away. Ruben Loftus-Cheek into Lukaku. He'll want to come on his left foot. Too obvious. Wins a corner. Missed my super chat, Mark. Was before Hobnob, says Ishan. Sorry about that, Ishan. Sorry to Mo Salah for calling him a diver. I do. If you know and watch this show, you know I rate Mo Salah. I think he does dive a little bit, but really I should have said Lacazette. He's the biggest diver in the Prem. I don't like custard creams. If there was nothing else in the biscuit barrel, I'd eat custard creams, but we had an absolutely fantastic... You know at Christmas, like, you get biscuits in boxes, like Foxes do them. Foxes make these biscuits, all sorts of stuff. We got one from a farm shop, gifted to us from a family member. Oh, they had like... They weren't like hobnobs and stuff. They were like, you know... I don't know. I nearly said vintage biscuits. Don't eat vintage biscuits. That means they're out of date. But they were like specialist biscuits, and they had this really oaty one with chocolate on the top. It was like an elite chocolate hobnob. But they also had these biscuits that had like bits of chewy buttercream in and fruit shortcake. I love them. You know, the ones with raisins in, chewy raisins in. Yeah, they were all brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. First class biscuits, really. The chocolate cookies were delectable. Was given a foul. This referee's given a lot of soft fouls. We're just about to hit the 90th minute here. Cat2 says, have a good one, I need to go. You need to go, you need to go. White chocolate butter cookies, says Josh. I used to get these biscuits when I was younger at my grand's house. And I've never seen them since, and I can't remember what they were, but they had like, you know, like peanuts. They had like half peanuts on the top with like caramel, and they were lovely. I've never seen them since. It's like crisps. When I was like probably 4 or 5, my mum used to get me these crisps that were. They were like little piglets. They were like tiny little pigs, and they had funnily enough, they had smoky bacon. Introducing me to meat, young, and not that sort of meat. And yeah, they were like these little piglet things. We can't get them now. Snickers were called Marathon, and that's a chocolate bar, not a biscuit. Florentines, Mark, that's what they are, Tom. Florentines, that's what they were. Rich teas are clear. The boring one. If you like rich teas, you like McFred, I reckon. Boring and ineffective. At least put a bit of chocolate on the top. Jazz it up a bit. Inside keeps asking me what I think of James Rodriguez. I mean, it's irrelevant. He's an irrelevant player now, but I always have liked Rodriguez. But to be honest, he's flattered to deceive since the World Cup in 2014, hasn't he? I do like bounties. I think a bounty is a bounty's a bit like a yeah, ZX been given man of the match. I agree. Fantastic tonight. A bounty's a bit like pineapple on pizza. I like both, but I don't like a bounty on a pizza. I don't like chocolate on pizza. That can piss off, swivel off. But I do like bounty. But they are a bit like Marmite. Snickers used to be called a marathon when I was a kid, and Starburst used to be called Opal Fruit. Opal fruits made to make your mouth water. I'll tell you what. I don't know whether they do them anymore. Star bars. Can you remember Star bars? It was basically a boost, but it had peanut stuff inside. Ooh, I used to love a Star bar. I don't know whether they still do them. Star Bar. They were lovely. Ooh. Lovely. Reece James in a big coat there. He looks massive. I don't like Reese chocolate. I don't want to offend American people, but I don't like Reese chocolate. It's got quite an acidic taste to it. I don't like it. I prefer Galaxy, Mars, or Cadbury's. I think our chocolate's a bit sweeter than yours. If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club. Club Biscuit. Remember Trio? Trio! Trio! And now I want to go home. Or Penguins. If you're feeling peckish, pick up a penguin. Lukaku! Straight at the keeper. Oreos, dunk that in your tea, says Broadman. I tell you what I do like. Some restaurants do it. It's not an Oreo, but it's like ice cream. So you have the biscuit on the top, but it's crumbly. Crumbly, like dark brown biscuit, then ice cream, then crumbly biscuit. That's nice. Oh yeah, I like Twix as well. 4 minutes, nearly up. Quality Street, I've just been eating some of them. We've still got, I'm disappointed with myself this year. Quality Street has still got half a tub left. Celebrations, 3/4 of a tub left. I don't know what we've been doing with our lives. I think we just had too much. Breakaways were underrated, yes. Just had too much chocolates in the house. I'm looking forward to the new Batman film. Somebody asked me there. I'm looking forward to the new Batman film, but I've got to be honest, the Dark Knight trilogy is one of my favourite trilogies of all time, so I don't know how I'm going to receive the new Batman because I think the old Batman trilogy is perfect. Anyway, game over. 2-0 to Chelsea. I never had a Texan bar, barrel, crab tree, to be honest with you. Karamak, I used to like those. Probably find them a bit sweet now. Sweet now. Chelsea win 2-0. I don't think it's over. I think 3-0 it would be over. Second leg this time next week. It's at Tottenham. They've got to play a lot better. Based on this game, Chelsea deserve it. And they've got 1 foot in the final. Next week we'll reconvene for the second leg at Tottenham. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do check out my short, Arsenal better than Liverpool, Man United. Interesting sort of short clip on that. I'm back on the United Stand tomorrow morning at 10. Very interesting United Stand show tonight, talking about the leakers turning on the manager. You can check that out on the United Stand. Fig rolls are nice. I haven't had them in a long time. I've enjoyed the biscuit chats. Enjoy whatever you're doing. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for your company. The chat was better than the match, to be honest, but that's the way on United. On That's Football. I'll speak to you soon. Make sure you subscribe.